what's mine to receive? Whom do I worship? What do I believe? Seems every answer comes right back to me in the end. What if the race is over, and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken, and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, then we're all born victorious. If the race is over, what then? My soul remembers your voice. When all I hear is frustration and doubt. My soul remembers your grace. When the hurt is searing as a desert, still I never go without. My soul, remember. My soul, remember your touch. When my body yearns to be cradled like a child. My soul, remember your strength. When a heavy burden's weighing on me, I am sheltered all the while, sheltered all the while. Whether at war or at peace, awake or asleep, whether I'm walking, or dive in the ocean deep, whether it's winter or spring, whether I cry or sing. My soul remembers. My soul remembers your power. When I fear I cannot do what must be done. My soul remembers your mercy, blessing the deepest doubt I harbor, with the heat of the sun, with the kiss of the sun, whether at war or at peace, awake or asleep, whether I'm walking the streets or dive in the ocean deep, whether it's winter or spring, whether I cry or sing. world is bearing unbearable pain. My soul remembers your love, shimmering over us, a rainbow rising after the rain. Whether I'm in the sea or dive in the ocean deep. If I'm alone or in a crowd, feeling humble or proud, silently talking about or laughing out loud. Whether I'm right or I'm wrong, standing timid or strong, wherever on earth I belong. And when my last breath is gone, whatever I do, whatever I seek, safe in your arms my soul remembers. My soul remembers. My soul Nothing to say, nowhere to go, nothing to do. I have promises to make, no one to know, nothing to prove. It's a strange sort of existence. Somehow it seems so true. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dream. This is how I'm born to be empty. I know nothing is wrong, nothing is right. All is in all right now. Everything's gone. Ambition and expectations at all. It's a new kind of tension. Somehow it seems so right. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dream. This is how I'm born to be. I'd be perfectly fine if I stay this way forever. Nothing on my mind, and I've never felt better. The only thing I really know is that I don't know a thing. The only sound that I hear now is the silence when I sing. The only sight my eyes can see is the darkness of my dream. This is how I'm born to be. This is how I'm born to be. Empty, empty. My soul are part of the whole. My heart and my hand are serving a great plan. I know that it's true when all that I am comes down to you. I know that it's true. I know that I can rely on you. All that I am, all that be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am estimated loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am estimated loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am estimated loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am estimated loud and clear. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. to me, it's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me, dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else might in my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now. There's one power, invisible, and you see it, everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and just speak of it, with every word you say. Mysterious, until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings, or heaven's door, whatever name. It's all one power. Can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power. We speak so many languages, different clothes, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous. We forget in the heart, we're all the same. We'll remember when we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign, it's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, Father Time, but whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. Oh, it's the power of the love in freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of relief. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of the serenity.
Okay, so Reverend Betty? You're going to say our thing. Here we go.
Ready? Welcome to Unity, where love is felt, truth is taught, life is transformed, and all is well as we express the Christ within. So we don't. Okay, are you going to play the opening? We're going to sing Your Soul is Welcome Here. So if you want to stand and you've got My Soul is Welcome Here, the words to it.
Right place
At the right
time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right
Thank you very much, Steve. So, in place of a musician today, Phyllis and Steve have put together some music, and he's playing it for us. So, thank you very much for getting that together. We appreciate you. May this service bless each of you on your spiritual path. Those of you that are here in person, those of you joining us on Zoom or Facebook, and all of those who are with us in spirit. And I'm so happy to see such a large group, considering we had daylight savings time. You had to remember to get up early and move that clock. And the fact it was so cold today, but it is a very warm place here today. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Celeste Kroll, and I'll be guiding us through our sacred service this morning. I'm introducing our Minister of Record, Reverend Betty Martin Lewis. And thank you so much. And our prayer chaplain is Ann Scruggs. Now, Ann Scruggs will be available after the service in our library. And to reach the library, you go outside to the gathering room and in, and she will be there to help you with prayer after the service if you would like. And I have a few, let's see, you're going to give our opening prayer.
Yes. So I invite you right now just to put away the cares of the day and just to gently close your eyes if you like. Go within to that inner sanctuary where we know that the God of our being is always present, always there, this sacred space where peace dwells, compassion is always here, and where we are a pure and true expression of love. So feel that love this morning, all the amazing power of love here in this room with us together, hearts beating in unison, minds aligned in one mind. We are in oneness. We are in God. God is in us. And we proclaim this truth this morning and know that this truth lifts us up above any obstacles in the outside world. So we come here to remember who we truly are. The Christ expressing into the world. And so it is. Amen. And amen.
I would like to ask, do we have any first-time visitors here this morning? If so, will you please raise your hand? Yes, we do have a first-time visitor. Thank you very much for coming. And our prayer chaplain will give you a welcome packet. There should be one back there. And any online visitors, just know that you can visit us at our website of unitygainesville.org. Our prayer chaplain today is Ann Scruggs, and prayer is an essential unity practice. And you're invited, as I said before, to stay after the service. Also, for announcements, please leave the short questionnaire that was on your seat. About masking, please leave it on the chair after filling it out, and it'll be collected from there. Did not get one? Okay. There's some extras around. You got it now.
Thank you.
All right. Also, there are surveys. It's in a folder in the little room outside there. You'll see it in a folder. Some of you may have already received it. It's called a congregational survey, and just a few questions about building strengths and what kind of classes you'd like to see and activities, and this will really help us grow as a church to know what you would like to see in unity, what you'd like to see us become. So please look for that survey right outside, fill it out. It's very short, and return it there. Or return it to Bonnie. Bonnie, could you raise your hand? So there's Bonnie. All right, I have another announcement. There's a work party coming up this Saturday from 8 to 1. And this work party includes a scrumptious, it was described as scrumptious lunch that's going to be provided. So please see Steve Greeno today if you can attend. And this work party is going to be fun because it's going to be working outdoors to make our gardens even more beautiful. And the more people, the merrier. So please let Steve know if you can attend. He would love for you to. It will be the first work event will be this coming Saturday, yes. The weather should be great. And another one is Harrison is doing haircuts for donations to the church. And he has 30 years experience in doing haircuts. So what a wonderful donation. And just stay after. Harrison, will you raise your hand so people know? There he is, right there. He's more than willing to do this for you. All right. Let's see. Also, a reminder to check on the bulletin board and our website for classes and events. For those of you online, check our website and be sure to subscribe to our weekly e-blast. Reverend Betty, you have something
Yes,
to say?
we have a lot of announcements today, but that indicates a lot of activities are happening, more things are being enlivened in this beautiful congregation. So I wanted to mention that we're reconstructing our volunteer teams. You know, over the time of COVID, a lot of people are still at home. Some people have left or even moved out of the area, and so we're rebuilding, and we're starting with our welcoming team. Those are the people who are the face of this beautiful ministry, who will welcome people into this facility. Very important role, and we need volunteers. I'm going to ask Donna, would you mind? I've got a clipboard right here, and I forgot to give it to somebody. Maybe we can start in the back and have it circulated. If you're willing to serve on the welcoming team, we'd love to have your contact information, and we're going to be having some special training for that team after service on the 27th. I believe that's the last Sunday, the 27th of this month. So it's 2 weeks from now. After service, we'll have training, and that will bring the team together, and everybody will be on the same page. And so we'll spend about an hour and a half after the service with that, and we really appreciate people stepping up, raising their hands, saying, yes, I want to help rebuild our volunteer teams. So that's number one. Number two is, as always, we have Ann Scruggs as our prayer chaplain doing individual prayers over in the room, in the gathering room there. You'll see another little room there where the window is. We're also doing a prayer circle afterwards, if you would rather pray in a group. And so we'll stay in the sanctuary, and we'll have a group of circle chairs here. So if you'd like to stay after for some healing prayers after service, we'll be doing that. And then the third thing is, we're so excited about this new group that has been formed over the last 6, 8, 9 months. I'm not sure. Gabe, help me. How long have you been together here with the... So last year we were so excited that Gabe, why don't you come up here just for quickly to identify Gabe. He's going to do a retreat with this group that's been meeting every week, the Next Gen group, and they're going to have a retreat the 26th of the month over in your farm, right? In your
here.
In here. Okay, good. Yeah. Why don't you ask for what you want here? So.
So we're going to be doing a retreat on the 25th evening and 26th. We're camping out on my property, and we're going to be having several workshops here We're having like a reflective listening workshop. We're doing a hypnosis workshop. Someone's coming in to do that. We've got what's called an ecstatic dance, and we're going to be doing a breathwork group session together. So should be a lot of fun. And anyway, we right now for meals had the idea if anyone wants to donate maybe a meal for us. There's probably going to be about 7-8 of us in the group. If someone wants to provide, we need we have a dinner and 2 dinners and a lunch right now scheduled that.
So he needs some cooks. He needs some, people to support this group. It's the generation, we say next generation of unity. These are a group of people 18 to 25 right now is what we're saying is the age group. And we're just so
18
grateful.
to 35.
Well, 30, yeah. So anyway, we're really grateful that Gabe has the energy and the skill to bring this group together and work with them on spiritual involvement. So thank you. Yeah, and
One other thing too, if you need reimbursement for anything you purchase for cooking, we have means of doing that.
Tell us the dates again, Gabe.
The 25th and 26th of March. Yes, it's coming up in a little about 2 weeks from now.
You had a head count yet?
About 7 or 8.
Sounds like we got some cooks that are willing to donate. That would be awesome. All right, thank you for continuing to observe social distancing and wearing your mask indoors. Feel free to take off your mask when outside. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our Daily Word speaker for today, Alejandra. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Okay, so the daily word for today is light. The affirmation is, the light of truth dissolves all darkness. The scripture is, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. John 1:5. A bird's cheerful song interrupts the quiet of the night. The dark sky glows lighter, and puffy clouds begin to glow with a beautiful shade of pink. Brilliant rays announce the sun's arrival. The suns peak over the horizon, flooding the new day with light. Light dissolves darkness in my consciousness in a similar way. At a challenging time, my heart responds to the hopeful thought of this too shall pass. Hope grows into faith as my mind opens to divine wisdom that is always mine to claim. Guided by the dawning light of truth, I see the way forward and follow it with confidence. As surely as each new day brings a sunrise, my faith assures me the light of truth will dissolve the darkness of any obstacle I may face. Again, the affirmation is, the light of truth dissolves all darkness.
so you notice that we don't have a musician today. Normally we have a live person over here. So we are using some CD tracks to sing with, and most of you might know this song. I'm sure you've sung it many times in person. It's one of those Daniel Nahmod songs, which was, Your Soul, My Soul is Welcome Here is one of his songs as well. So this is Love Is My Decision. You've got the words, and so would you stand? And if anybody feels like coming up here and helping to lead the singing, come on up. And we'll sing Love Is My Decision. Oh, Judy, why are you shaking your head? Should we have her up here? Yeah, it looks like we, I'm really glad to know we got somebody here. All right, so let's just listen to, sing along with Daniel.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to stop. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
Yeah. Hey, pretty good without a musician, huh? Did great. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. We're going to talk today about putting fear in its place. This whole month we are working on the lesson of overcoming fear. So you got introduced to that by Carla last week. And we know that most religions and spiritual teachers from antiquity talk about fear. You know, there are over 400 references in the Bible to fear. Now, some of them reference fear being translated as, it can also be translated as awe or reverence to God. But it is a natural human emotion. Did you hear that story about two guys who were out hiking in the woods and a bear started chasing them? And they started running as fast as they could, and the bear's getting closer and closer and closer, and the first thing they see is a tree, and they climb up the tree, and one guy immediately starts pushing off his hiking boots and grabbing in his knapsack for his running shoes, and the other guy looks over at him and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I think the best thing right now, I just realized the bear can climb trees, so I think we ought to just jump down and make a run for it. And the other one says, "Are you out of your mind? You can't outrun a bear." He said, "Well, the way I figure it, I don't have to run from the bear. I got to outrun you." So there are different ways of coping with fear, right? Right. So it's a human emotion. It's that feeling which arises when we perceive a danger or a threat. And it's going to happen, because our brains, have been conditioned over time in our human self to respond to fear. And so some fear is really good for us and important. That bear, for example, or a tornado warning, or a fire in the kitchen, or whatever. It helps us to get motivated to protect ourselves. So some fear can be very helpful. But if we let fear take up a home in our consciousness, it creates obstacles to our spiritual evolvement, to rising in consciousness, to becoming all we're meant to be. So we don't want to let fear take up a home in our consciousness. And as I started thinking about this idea of fear, I don't know, I'm somewhat fascinated by phobias. Now, phobias are not just a normal everyday fear. Phobias are actually listed in the DSM, which is that handbook of diagnoses that the psychiatrists and the psychologists use to diagnose issues. So in the DSM, there are over 400 identified phobias. This is when fear gets really hardened in our consciousness, and then we begin to react out of fear with that. We just completely are at the control and the power of the phobia. And so it's a serious thing, so I don't want to make light of it, but I'm fascinated by the idea that there are over 400 unique phobias identified. And what's really sad to me is the number one phobia over the last few years is social anxiety. The fear of interacting with other people. And we know that creates separation, right? So that somewhere deep in the consciousness of someone who has social anxiety is this belief that we're separate. And we know one of our spiritual principles in terms of unity, in terms of oneness, is that there is no separation. We are one in spirit. There can be no reality to this idea that we're all separate. It appears sometimes, of course, that we're separate because we've got this separate skin that is a sort of a boundary, invisible thing. We're this sack of bones and systems, and this living being. But the truth of us is our spiritual being. And that is the whole point of spiritual evolvement, just to recognize, to go within and discover who we really are. And so fear can really be an obstacle to that process of knowing who we are and claiming our power. Well, when I was looking at these phobias, I'm fascinated that, did you realize that the color yellow can be a phobia? That some people have a phobia to colors. Color yellow. That some flowers and plants are phobias for some people, and usually it relates back, right, to a past childhood trauma of some sort that we still carry forward from the past. That's what feeds a phobia, right? And there's even a fear of other human attributes, like fear of ugliness. But that's all perspective, right? What is ugly? So that's really in the DSM, a fear of ugliness, a fear of bathing, a fear of knees. That's one of those fears. So body parts can even be a phobia. And of course, some people have a fear of men, some people have a fear of women, and there's actually a phobia for beautiful women. a true fear, and I really don't want to make light of this because it truly is a serious condition. And so those phobias, though, what I realized, this was coming up for me because, you know, the treatment for phobia is cognitive therapy. That's therapy of the mind, right? And so I really want us to recognize today that all fear is thought-based. It's arising in our minds. And the good news is we have control over our minds. We can choose our thoughts. Society and our experiences has conditioned our mind to think a certain way, to believe a certain way based on our individual experiences over time. But it's never too late to change our mind. It's never too late to recondition our mind through intention, through spiritual practice. I mean, we know that in the New Thought movement and unity particularly, we learn to observe our thoughts. We learn to go within and really understand ourselves and the shadows that we carry in our consciousness, to let them rise so that we can heal them and release them. So putting fear in its place starts from within. And most of our psychological fears are caused by the desire we have to predict and control things outside of us. This is what a lot of spiritual teachers and psychologists say, you know, the field of psychology says that, you know, as humans, we say we want peace, inner peace, but we have this proclivity to judge, to control, to try to predict. We like the status quo. We don't like change so much as human beings. So we need to keep noticing our thoughts, and also to notice that we can change our thoughts consciously if we choose to. So our expectations based on what happened to us in the past, you know, if we were wounded, say we have a fear of the dark, you know, like a lot of children have a fear of the dark, and maybe some things did happen in the dark that traumatized a child. But as adults, we have to wonder about, you know, is the dark really something to be afraid of? And to test it out in the real time, you know, or am I just reacting to an old fear? So if we have these deep memories of hurt in the past, or we have these fantasies about the future that don't match what is right now in front of us, that's where a lot of fear comes from. Being either past-oriented or future-oriented in our minds. And if we watch our thoughts during the day, every once in a while just check in, you know, what am I thinking on? How much of the time today have I been spending going through old memories? And I don't know about you, but I think this whole pandemic thing, when we were pretty much isolated, I was reliving my whole history over. I mean, I have these memories come up that I hadn't thought about in 40 years or something, you know, like, where are they coming from? But that was sort of what's happening. There's all this shift and chaos and vibrations going on in the larger world, right? This big shift that's happening. And so, and then I'm also very future oriented. I'm always thinking about what I want to be doing in the future. But here's the other thing about fear is, in the now, there is no fear. When we are absolutely in the now, just being an observer of what's happening, there is no fear. You know, I'm standing up here speaking to you, and I love speaking today, but I tell you, I was the shyest little girl when I was growing up. I was very shy. I would hardly even raise my hand in school. Teachers would have to call on me, and gradually I got a little more confidence because somehow the teachers knew I had the answer or made me feel like I had the answer, you know, that I didn't have to be afraid of raising my hand. And over time, I just kept listening to some of that input and growing in my confidence to be more present, to be more comfortable. And I remember somewhere in high school, I guess it was, I entered a speech contest. That was a big deal for me. And I got up and I had my thing all rehearsed and I had memorized the pages, you know, I'd memorized it, but I took the whole thing up there, not just notes. I took the whole speech. I think it was supposed to be a 10-minute speech on, Carla would know this, but it was some kind of agricultural, something. It was a 4-H club I was in, and so I was speaking about something I didn't even know about. You know, I had to research how to protect the environment or something. And right in the middle of the speech, I forgot the next cue, I forgot the next word, and I froze, and I looked out there, you know, I don't know, I was about 13 or 14 years old, and I was just like, and there were these adults in the room, and I grabbed the podium, and I couldn't move. I didn't know what to do. And so somebody had to come up and lead me back to my seat. But I entered the next year. And I won third prize, and I was so excited. I won third prize the next year. And so eventually I overcame that, you know. But if I had just let that fear settle in and ignored it, not addressed it, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm so grateful, you know, for that learning. So we can look back on our experiences and find the gift in our experiences of the past. And work on healing and letting go of fear or anger, all those things that, you know, we sometimes let settle into our consciousness. But in the now, if you are in the now moment and simply taking in the stimuli that's happening at face value, instead of judging it. See, what we do is we want to interpret what we're seeing every second based on our past or our desires for the future. We make interpretations. And eventually, yes, we can make interpretations, but we need to just calmly not overreact and just say what is actually happening. And we do that too by calming our nervous system. So we know that we take a deep breath when something happens that triggers us. And you all know where your trigger is, right? It's a physical reaction to some brain stimuli that pumps adrenaline and other kinds of hormones into our body when we're afraid, right? You feel that hypersensitivity, you know, we all know. And we either get it usually in the back of our neck or in our gut. You know, so when we get those physical cues, that's the time to take a deep breath and go within and not respond in the moment, but be in the moment. What did that person really say? Oh my gosh, her tone of voice sounded just like my Aunt Mabel that used to scare me to death when I was, see? We're remembering back to something. So that's not real. That's not real. So a lot of fear is just not real. We make it up in our mind. The threat is not there. But until we can learn to kind of be in the moment, we sometimes overreact with all that memory going on of the past, or our dissatisfaction in the present compared to what we desire in the future, and get impatient about the future. The what if, you know, and we're doing that a lot in the pandemic. I mean, just that's the human thing, you know, like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. I mean, that's kind of some of that's happening in the world around us. People are just giving up or predicting disaster or whatever. But we know as followers of New Thought and the unity principles, that we are going to deny the power of the past over who we are today. We deny that power. We don't forget the memories. They're there, but we want to detach from them emotionally. We deny their power, and we affirm what it is we vision for the future. So we want to envision a world that works for everyone. The old systems are kind of broken. We're learning they're not working anymore for us at all various levels. The old systems aren't working. So even of our own lives, old beliefs need to be shed if they are not supporting our spiritual evolvement. Any ideas of separation from others, we need to release. Any fears of interacting with others, we can affirm that we are loving beings. And you know what? When we're in that space of love, there is no fear. That's putting fear in its place. It just dissolves. When we shed light on it, when we are aligned with oneness and the power that is everything and is the creative energy that produces everything. That is our true nature. We are a channel of that spiritual power that creates, that makes whole, that is love itself, the essence of love. So let's put fear in its place by practicing our spiritual principles, by taking time every day to do something that brings us joy, that brings us love, and that we look at our thoughts and say, is that a loving thought, or is it taking me down the path of fear? Some simple exercises we can do every day to bring us into alignment with what we know is the essence of who we really are. And I'm going to close here with a beautiful poem by Khalil Gibran. It's called Fear. The poem is called Fear. And it's a metaphor. If we can look at ourselves as like a river flowing into the ocean, and the ocean being God. He says, it is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the past she has traveled. From the peaks of mountains, the long, winding road crossing forests and villages. And in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know it's not about disappearing in the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. So let's go out with that beautiful thought that we are in God, God is in us, and we are more powerful than we think we are. And so to lead us into, actually this will be mostly the meditation. It's a fairly long piece of music, and it's called Eternal Spirit. It is the Aborigines version of the Lord's Prayer. So I hope you enjoy it. It's a long one, so I want you just to relax now into the music and listen to the beautiful words of the singer as she sings this version of the Lord's Prayer.
Eternal Spirit, life giver, pain bearer, love maker, source of all that is and that shall be, Father and Mother of us all, loving God in whom is heaven. The hallowing of your name echo through the universe. The way of your justice be followed by the people of the world. Your heavenly will be done by all created beings. Your commonwealth of peace and freedom sustain our hope and come on earth. With the bread we need for today, feed us. In the hurts we absorb from one another, forgive us. In times of temptation and stress, strengthen us. From trials too great to endure, spare us. From the grip of all that is evil, free us.
Les comes up to do our final closing, I wanted to say that we're going to be inducting new members, and I didn't have a chance even to tell you, Celeste, or the board. We're going to bring our new members up to induct them just after the children blessing. Yeah.
All right. So at this time, we embrace the principle of giving as a spiritual practice. You're invited to take your love offering in your hand, or imagine it if you've already given. And now we're going to bless our gifts, knowing that as we give, our blessings are multiplied. So please repeat after me. Divine love. Expressed in me. Through me. As me. Blesses and multiplies all that I have. All that I give. And all that I receive. Let us now give thanks for the continued growth and prosperity of our beautiful ministry. Hold these words in your heart. Unity of Gainesville, Florida is richly blessed and in the flow of universal abundance. We give thanks that just the right people with loving hearts and skills to help us grow are attracted to join us. We accept the good that enriches us and all with whom we have contact. We are prosperous, loving, and healthy, joyfully co-creating an abundant life. And so it is. So, Reverend Betty, do you want to do this now and then do the blessing of the children? I don't know. You tell me.
Do we have children? Yeah, let's let the children. We have 8 times, right?
Okay. So, Miss Gwen is going to introduce our child, who's so cute. And she'll tell us what they have learned.
This is my buddy, Resin, and he's going to tell you what the name of our birds are.
My bird, its name is Peace.
Peace. And we had a nice discussion about how these sticks that Peace rides on are going to be very peaceful. Can you put them back on? Here, you can hold mine. Here, I'll fix yours. You hold mine. And we had a story today about, can you say peace? And we learned about all the children all around the world that don't look like us, don't talk like us, but they all have words that are for peace.
Thank you so much. And thank you, parents, for bringing your child with us. We love that. Thank you so much. So what we're going to do is bless the children. So please join us together as we're blessing our children and the children of the world. So rub your hands together. Repeat after me. Children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we see the Christ presence within you. We love you. We love you. We really, really love you. Okay, so now we're going to do the new members, right?
All right, so Steve, would you come up, please? And we have some beautiful new members that we want to bless this morning and welcome in formally to the church. So I want to just check if David Bird is online. Anybody know if David Bird is online? And David has gone through our new member orientation, and so we want to keep him in mind as we line up the other people here to be blessed this morning. Debbie and Andrew Jackson, you want to come up, and coming up, Giovanna, Rolando, and Alejandro, come on up. Would you get them in a line? Get them in a line or whatever, across the front. Yeah, a line. Actually, come on out in front of the podiums, maybe. Come out here. Yeah. Okay. And you stand here. Okay, you stand over there. I know. I have to get back to. I'm sorry. I got the microphone. Kristen Ricky. Yes. Ricky. Yay. So joining Unity is a little different than joining other churches. You know, we don't have any creeds or doctrines that you have to swear to up here. You're joining this community and also making a commitment to your own personal spiritual evolvement. And knowing again that the mission we have together is to support each other as we grow and learn together to discover that power within us. And you're saying yes to being a formal member so that you can offer your time, talent, treasure in some way to help build this particular spiritual community. That's what it means to join a Unity church. And so we welcome these people who have said, yes, I want to be part of this. And I want to really be aligned with Unity of Gainesville as a force in this community to help raise the consciousness of this whole outside community and attract just the right people at just the right time. So clearly, we are all attracting each other, those who are seeking, to discover their own spiritual power. And so today we really bless and recognize these people who went through training, some initial orientation to the Unity principles. And some of you have been around for a long time in Unity, others haven't. There's a wide variety. And Kristen, I know, has been a member, have been coming loyally to this community for a while. So everyone knows Kristen. And so get to know our new members and make sure you see them outside to say hello to them. And we're going to bless them together. And I would like to offer a blessing, and then we're going to celebrate them just as we did the children. So I would say to all of you, yeah. Yes, so may you be aware of infinite spirit dwelling always in your hearts, bringing you the strength to move through any challenge and the wisdom to live from your spiritual essence as a divine being. And may you be rooted and grounded in love so that you can help the world experience its amazing power to heal all things. And may you regularly take time apart from the world to be in the stillness where God is waiting to give you everything you need to lead an amazing, amazing life. In Unity, we know that following our principles transforms our lives. This is why we're here. This is who we are. And so now let's do bless together this beautiful group and say, we love you. We appreciate you. We bless you. And we behold the Christ in you. So blessings to all of you. And let's just make sure everybody's got their name so they know. So I'm going to ask each person to just say their name, and then I want you to say welcome to that person individually, okay? So,
Debbie.
Debbie. And can you pass the other mic? It's a wireless. Yeah, right here to Andrew. Yeah. So put it up to your mouth so they can hear you. Yeah.
Andrew.
Welcome, Andrew.
Gio. Or Giovanna.
Gio.
Rolando.
Welcome, Rolando.
Alejandro.
Welcome, Alejandro.
Kristen.
Welcome, Kristen. And Steve has their certificates. So thank you and bless you all. So you want to make a, all right, give him the.
Kristen has actually been a member for a long time. We haven't had the opportunity to get her up here and embarrass her yet. So this is Team Giselle and Giovanna. Thank you, Rolando. Alejandro. Thank you. Team Giselle. And David Bird is hopefully on Zoom. And so we'll. Yes. We do have a certificate for David Bird, and David will mail us. And thank you for joining us on Zoom. And Debbie and Andrew Jackson. Debbie's known by several names, but we call her you. Thank you all.
What a delight to see so many people. We love it. Okay, so now we're going to form a circle, but maintain safe physical distancing. Only join hands energetically, not physically. And we're going to have to sing the peace song a cappella. So please, those with really good voices, be nice and loud. And then we're going to speak the prayer for protection. And don't forget to leave on your seat before you leave the questionnaire.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, and we all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now we're going to speak the prayer for protection. All right. God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right. Thank you so much for coming, and have a fabulous week.
Just leave these on your seat, please, and I'll collect them. One check mark is all you need to do, and then I will be collecting them.